Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Mohammad Raihan Sahputra from Faculty Economy and Business, Major Management S1, and my name 21142901010. And this is the text of meeting 14. Next. Meeting 14. What is Society 5.0? 1.1 How we approach Society 5.0. The schema of Society 5.0. The basic schema of Society 5.0 is that data are collected from the real world and processed by computer, with the results being applied in the real world. This schema is not new in itself. To cite a familiar example, air conditioning units automatically keep a room at the temperature programmed into the unit. An air unit conditioner regularly measures the room's temperature, and an internal microcomputer then compare the temperature reading with the registered temperature setting. Depending on the result, the airflow is active or deactive, automatic, such that the room maintains the desired temperature. Many of the systems we rely on in society use this basic mechanism. It it underlines the system responsible for keeping our homes adequately supplied with electricity, and thus that keep the trains running on time. The mechanism relies on computerized automated controls. When people use the term information society, they mean a society in which each of the system collects data, processes them, and then applies the results in a particular real-world environment. 1.2 Merging cyberspace with physical space. In the previous section, we learned that the underlying mechanism of Society 5.0 is the merging of cyberspace with the physical space real world. This section further clarifies what such an convergence means and how it can benefit society. Modeling real world issue. Cyberspace is the electronic world inside computer. Data from the physical space or real world are analyzed in cyberspace so as to derive solution for managing or improving society. Once these solutions are implemented in physical space or real world, the outcomes are evaluated, which generates data. This data is then input back to cyberspace for analysis, and if there are any problems, further solution will be derived. The cycle, whereby society is continuously adjust and improve, is what Society 5.0 is all about. 1.3 Knowledge Intensive Society. Society 5.0 identifies three elements that drive social innovation: data, information, and knowledge. In this section, we clarify what these three terms mean and describe the ways in which Society 5.0 constitutes a knowledge-intensive society. Data, information, and knowledge. First, what are data? Generally, data refer to tangible and intangible phenomena in the physical space or real world that are represented as numerical values, stats, names, or binary figure, 0 or 1, telling us whether a thing is present or absent. To illustrate this definition, we will refer to the population of a hypothetical municipality. In Japan, the town's population could be worked out by referring to the relevant entries in the National Registry of Citizens, the Basic Resident Register. From this source, the attribute of town's residents, including their gender, household composition, and address, could be found. These facts represent towns data. Data are the most basic of the three elements: data, information, and knowledge that are accumulated in cyberspace. Next, 1.4 Data-driven society. Society 5.0 is described as a data-driven society. What is a data-driven society? We live in a so-called information society. So how does this differ from a data-driven society? The previous section definition information as data that has been processed and rendered meaningful, while it defines knowledge as the general empirical laws extracted from such information. Compared to information and knowledge, data exists at a more basic level. What then does it mean for a society to be driven by this most primitive of the three elements? The data-driven society is crucial for understanding Society 5.0, a point that is applied illustrated by the fact that both terms appear in the Japanese government growth strategy 2018, Growth Strategy Council 2019. Accordingly, this section explores the question in some details. What is a data-driven society? First, let us see how the data-driven society is defined in the government literature. The term featured in the literature even before Society 5.0 was proposed. For example, it appeared in 2015 report of the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, or METI, METE. Industrial Structure Council, Ministry of Economy 2015. This report defines a data-driven society as a society where the above-mentioned CVS is applied to various industrial societies through digitization and networking of things using cloud. And the digital data is converted into intelligence and applied to the real world, and then the data acquire and add the value and move the real world. In this question, intelligence equates with the information and knowledge discussed in the previous section. 1.5 Industry 4.0 and Society 5.0. In November 2011, the German federal government released High-Tech Strategy 2020 Action Plan for Germany, which outlined a high-tech strategy initiative called Industry 4.0. This vision predates Society 5.0 as proposed in the 2060 Science and Technology Basic Plan by 5 years. Why did Germany pursue a national campaign to promote science and technology in manufacturing sector? This section outlined the new industrial vision that Industry 4.0 encapsulates. It also compared Industry 4.0 with Society 5.0 as a means of further clarifying the latter. And the last one, what was Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0 was a national strategy initiative led by Ministry of Education and Research and the Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy to deliberate on the initiative. A working group was formed consisting of actors from government as well as from business and university. The working group was led by Henning K. German, former chairman of SAP SA and president of the German Academy of Science and Engineering. In April 2013, the working group issued its recommendation in a report titled recommendation of implementing the strategy initiative Industry 4.0. This is my presentation, the task of meeting 14. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.